what it is. It's always something. I think it's been Master P. I think when
Yeah.
And on that note, man, welcome to the Boy Man King podcast.
So
It's
like,
your boy
hey,
Coach
ready, look,
Crump.
he ready.
It's your boy Coach Crump, man. Welcome to the Boy Man King podcast. I'm your main man, Coach Crump, with my co-host, my man, 100 Grand Chizzy. Talk to
My
the
boy.
people.
What's
And
good on, man? You know,
listen, man. Just in case if you was wondering about the hot topics that we have, whether it be Master P, No Limit Soldiers, the
mm,
Hot Boys, and Lil Wayne. We're actually not going to break down any rap battle. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. But we actually have none other than our special guest, Lamar Wilson, to the platform. Welcome back, brother. How
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? How you
oh,
feeling?
Always a
oh man,
pleasure,
I'm
man.
feeling good. Yeah, man, I
Thank
love it. I love it.
you.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you always got a great energy, man. I remember, you always got a great energy. Before I knew you, you knew us, and I really respect that about you, and I appreciate that about you. And we're gonna talk about the conference. We're gonna talk about what we experienced collectively and individually at the conference as well. We're gonna have to talk to you about stuff that you got going on, what we got going on, man. So it's always nice to have a brother in here. You know what I'm saying? A fellow hat wearer, crump, a fellow, we were talking about that earlier, a fellow hat wearer, hat to the back. It's about to be real up in her today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For us.
Exactly.
But
So it's nice to have
and
you on,
what
bro.
a lot of our guests, man, it's kind of like a relationship between me and Chizzy,
Mm,
a relationship with me, and I bring him on, introduce to my man. But like for you, man, you really have a relationship with the platform. So you
hmm
really come from Boy Man King. We didn't have a personal relationship with you outside of Boy Man King, man, but you was an avid follower, advocate for the platform. So talk about your journey and just how did you learn about Boy Man King and why you're such a supporter?
I learned it on Instagram. I was just trying to get in front of just new people, and I've seen so much going on with the next level, and I was just like, I want to be in those rooms and also meet new people. That was one thing, looking at last year to this year was I want to be in the right rooms. I'm
Mm,
walking myself into rooms that I know I could get into, and it's not feeding me. It's not giving me the direction I need to be in.
Nice.
They're okay with putting me in this room, but then when you get around the right people, they're like, man, where you been at?
mm,
We've been looking for you.
mm.
And I started following. Started following on Instagram, and I mean, watching the videos religiously, and the men that was pouring into it. Then y'all went up the game and got on TikTok. I was like, oh, game changer. Game changer. I
Shout
was
out to
like, and then,
Noel. Shout out to Noel.
Yeah, man.
and then, and it's, sometimes you can't get to Instagram because you're
Yeah.
so locked into, TikTok or vice versa, any platform. And to know that you have different avenues, there's no excuse. You know,
Sure.
that's the important. And then also on a gentleman's call too. That plays a huge part as well. So it definitely, I got the notifications on. So once you post that, cheers, you see me on TikTok, I'm
Yeah.
liking, comment. I'm like, yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, I
Hey,
love
man,
it,
I
man.
really appreciate it about you, man, Lemar, because you definitely stay tapped in. You definitely provide a presence on social media that's unprecedented compared to a lot of people. So I definitely appreciate your support thus far moving forward, man. That's love. That's 100%. And we give that same energy out as well, man. You got a lot going on with the books, with the work that you're doing in the community, with the kids and stuff. So man, you are a great resource, and we're definitely humbled to have you in our presence, man. So no, it's not just about what we offer, but it's also about what you offer and how we collaboratively and collectively bring stuff to the marketplace to support man, to support what we're trying to do in our communities to better people's lives, man. So that's a blessing to be able to be in a space with you as well, man. So I just want to tell you that up front.
Yeah.
man, I appreciate that. I love it.
And,
Thank you.
and and I know people trying to catch the swag, right? You got the up top energy, but you're in Florida. You know what I mean? We're gonna get more to your story, but you went from social media to real life at the King
Yeah,
Con.
yeah.
Tell the people about the conversation you was even having with your wife about making the investment to come up to King Con, man. That led to you being on the pod. So just kind of talk
Yeah.
about, what made you say, okay, it's cool to follow these brothers online. It's cool to follow these brothers on social media, but I want to get in the room. and I want to make the investment. And you talked about that earlier about how you're being so intentional. We're going to talk about that word, but just talk about why you decided and what that was like with your wife, and then what it was like when you actually got to King Conference.
Yeah, when I first started following y'all, and then I tapped into I took I stepped out of my fear, and that's what I've been doing every year, stepping out these room fears, these rooms of having conversations with my wife, having conversations with my family, having conversations with God, having these conversations. And one thing is, when I following you was one thing, but actually messaging you and getting a response back, and it was like, what are you asking, Lemar? And I brought
Yeah.
it to God. God's like, before you reach out, what are you asking? Don't, just because they have a platform, you want to bring your brand to the platform. What are you asking for? These are not just men that are just putting something out because they got a camera and they got a voice. So before you even step in that room, son, what are you asking for? And I had to really sit there, and I'm falling, I'm debating. God said, son, if I brought you to them, I prepared you for them. So I reached out, and it was having conversations, and then it was like, hey, we got this conference going on. Would love for you to be there. Okay, now I got to step out the room of fear of having that conversation with my wife, because it's a men's conference.
Yeah.
So now I got to have that conversation, because now I'm leaving her with the 3 boys. So stepping into that world, and again bringing it to God. And God said, "Who's your God? Who's your God? Is she your God? Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm gonna step back,
I love it.
because I'm
Yeah.
telling you where I want to put you at. You got to listen to me, because last year was embarrassing."
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat down, had a conversation. I showed her the website. I showed Carl. I said, "Look, man, showed her everything." And she said, "Why do you want to go?" And I said, "I want to meet other men that will hold me accountable, not because they knew me from high school. Oh, he's doing something good with the community. No, men that I see you, or what do you do? Because you might think you sweet in that area, and a man that don't know you, it's like, oh, man, you're doing this wrong, this wrong. It can really break you down by just meeting you the first time." And that's what the conference did for me. Every speaker broke me down as, "You're not that sweet." And so having that conversation with her, and she said, "If you want to go, don't worry about it. I had a kid, just figure out all the stuff. I'm a visual person. I need to see plane tickets, times, and this, boom, boom, boom. Okay. How much we spend it? Okay." And now that's the beginning of the year. We're getting closer. I got to have that conversation, because January passed, February passed. So now we're getting close. Now I got to have that. Hey, babe, you remember the conference? Because she could. No, I don't remember that. No, we got too much stuff. No, 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 no. It was on the calendar, the family calendar, right on the side. Men's conference. So there's no forgetting. God directed. He literally held my hand. This is what you're gonna do, because this is where I need you to be at. I need you to be there. And so having that conversation, I got in, and when I was supposed to go with my boy, and he flaked. And again, I didn't buy my ticket. I'm talking, I'm having this conversation. And again, this is what happens, fellas. I could talk myself into it, but it's so easy for me to talk myself out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm contemplating. I'm seeing at the plane tickets. I'm like, this. And God's like, buy this ticket, buy this time. You're going to reach out to this person, that person. If you need to serve, that's what I need you to do. I bought the ticket. I got on the plane by myself. Flew to Atlanta by myself. Just my music, water and stuff. And I said, God, what do you want me to do here? I want you to get there early, just in case if they need help, or you just need to be there. Okay? Because he told me this year, he said, what you did last year, it cannot be repeated this year. I need you to serve. And that's what I did. And I got there, and I made sure, he said, make sure all your stuff is in order. You contact your wife, get on the videos with your kids. Make sure you reaching out to the people you need to reach out to. Okay, great. And then being there and seeing This is now we're not talking about the phones no more. We're not talking about posts and oh, I see y'all. Well, no, I'm talking about actual Chris. I'm like, oh, he's right there. It's not no game. It's not. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm telling you, like to actually. Oh, Chad's walking the building with his dad. I'm like, oh snap! And like I said, I'm being honest when I say it. When you really follow someone, when you really truly devoted follow someone, you you get starstruck with that because you're like, I admire everything you do. I don't follow the celebrity. I don't follow the big time. It's 50 Cent. I follow people that actually can pour into me, whether that's as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a son, a brother, an uncle. And so when I see you and I see Kay and I see all these people, I'm like, I'm actually around the people that I follow, that I got notifications on because I don't want to miss that. I'm okay with missing the gossip. I'm okay with that. I can live. I can live with the gossip. That doesn't bother me. What is, I'm having trouble with this area in my life. I could go jump on and see if a video connects, or I jump on a message call and connect. So to me, that's what directed me to be like, you got to step out your box. Because what's going to happen if you don't go to the conference and you see everything? Because it's all going to be on social media. Oh man, I had a chance to go there. Maybe next year. You said that last year, son.
Right.
You said that last year. When you gonna get yourself together? So that's when I and we didn't even get to the part of leaving the conference. We'll get to that.
Yo, I'm always humbled to hear you talk about it, man. Because even when you pulled up at the conference, like I said, I had known about you before I actually physically met you. And you was now remember, for us, we talk about this all the time. Like, even though we are providing an opportunity for yourself and us to create a platform, and similar to what you're doing, it's also very therapeutic and immensely helpful for us as well to go through our process with other brothers, similar to what you're saying, where we now have resources that we can draw from, tangible people that we can interact with. So as much as I'm humbled by the fact that you wanted to be in this space and you came to the conference and you're very open and honest about talking to your wife and talking to your family and talking to your brethren and making sure everything was aligned, you know what I'm saying? We look forward to these interactions with you as well. Because just as much as you want to glean from what we have to offer, we want to do the exact same thing. So it's an iron sharpens iron. And I think we can't glaze over the importance of having these resources, having these interactions on a regular basis with their brothers, because it's not about the grandiose Lemar Wilson or Chris Crumpler or Che Powell. Right. It's about all of us collectively being able to learn and grow and have a shared experience for the betterment of us that everybody else gets to benefit from. So as much as, there are amazing people like yourself and like us that are doing great work and are very influential in this space. We have to, Crump and I talk about this all the time. We've got to continue to eat that humble pie so that we could just still be able to sit in a space like this and it's nothing, because you can learn from me, I can learn from you. We rub shoulders and it ain't no big deal. It's no goofiness. There's no big-headedness about it. We are just here to serve and serve other people in this particular space. So and every time you talk about it, it really amazes me that this is a brother that really looks forward to our interactions, but also I look forward to stuff that you do as well. I see your posts every day, and I'm like, I know Lamar's got something this can rip tear our mouths off with every day. So, and I think that's a dope space to be in, because a lot of people look to others for wisdom, and that's important. But at the same time, when you get to a certain level, we kind of talked about this last time we had a live. Like, that's when you need it the most. Because
Mm.
Yeah.
that's when
Yeah.
now you become the idol, or the focus becomes what you want, or how you're gonna benefit, and how you're getting all the accolades from other people who are following, what your agenda is. It's very, very important for us to stay in this space so that we all can remain humble, so that God could bless us and people get the blessings through the stuff that He's just gifted us to give, man. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate that about you, because you occupy, you live in that space, man. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna pivot the conversation. Before we do that, man, shout out to the Conversation Kings podcast. Man,
Mm,
shout out to my boy Rick
Yeah.
and in the comments showing a lot of love. Appreciate that, because one thing that's essential for manhood is community of men,
yes.
not
Facts.
any type of man. And you talked about your cousins, the people you went to high school with, but mature, initiated men. So one of the things I really want to pull out from the conversation piece is that you highlighted that fear and fighting go hand in hand. And I feel like that's a piece we got to talk about with men. And I want to kind of elaborate that even more. So there's two things I want to talk about what you shared is you got to overcome your fear, but that's not like a overcome the fear, like, okay, I overcame my fear, that's it. It was to
Yeah.
overcome my fear and keep fighting for it. Because it's not like you're gonna overcome your fear. This is what we got to help men with. Men get confused. I made a decision to overcome a fear, and then an obstacle came up. I'm like, I made a decision to overcome the fear,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Like it disappears. Like it
but then
don't disappear.
yeah, but the wifey said, oh, I don't remember that. Oh, I don't care if it's on the calendar. Oh, but the flight price done change. Oh, but your boys are acting up. People got, and I tell people this, man, because sometimes even when I coach a lot, life will never stop life, and there will always be a justifiable reason to quit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
There will always be a reason to justifiably quit. There will always be a reason to justifiably not show up. It will be justified. You didn't break any law. You
Right.
make sense. You picked a perspective. Cool, but you're gonna stay where you are too, though, bro.
Right.
What you need to also realize now,
Yep.
you drop that sophistication, but you know what had happened was cool. Well, you know what had happened? You stand where you are, bro. And we
That's
got
good.
to really help men to understand you want to move past where you are. You want to change your situation. Yes, you got to come over the fear, but you got to fight too. Right?
Yeah.
You can't just
Yeah.
overcome the fear like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, I tried, bro. I'm telling you, man, I made a decision. Cool. You got to do the work. It only works. We talk about this in marriage, in business, and it only works when you do the work. And so
Yep.
part of us in our personal development is understanding like, yes, we got to overcome fear, but you also got to fight. Ain't nothing
Right.
wrong with that. Because some people feel like, well, man, I made a decision. Why everybody attacking me? Why all of a sudden I'm going through all of this? It's like, that's part of it, bro. Because you
Yep.
got to be built different now. So you made a decision, but dang, my living situation is not what it used to be. Dang, my personal situation is not what. That's all an indication to say, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Now you
Yep.
Facts.
gotta pivot. You gotta learn a new
Yep.
skill. You gotta develop a new mindset. You gotta develop a new network. But are you gonna actually do it?
And
And
how long you gonna do it? And how
talk, talk,
long?
Yeah.
talk about that,
And that
man.
and that's where to my wife when that throughout this before the conference of me do I could tell you what I did this year every month. I did everything I did every month, right? To leading up to the conference, to her saying he's really taking his speaking serious.
Mm.
Okay, he went to a men's conference. Let's sit back and let's just see how he played out. Hold up, he there's a lot of stuff that he's taking off my plate. There's a lot of stuff that he's just doing. And wait, hold up. The communication he's having with his sons, he's
Mm.
actually going out having one-on-one lunches. He's actually planning his father-son days. Then he's making time. Then he's making time for me and him. Now,
Mm.
there's no more pencil date night. We put the marker. It's washable. I'm just putting it out there. It's
Right.
washable, but it's set. And then he's making time to work on his speaking, even though I don't get it. I don't get it, but there's something because all my friends that have him on social media, they say, "Oh, you saw Lamar's video? Like, oh, Lamar, you did this, Lamar, you did that," and she sees it. Okay, there's a different vibe with him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then all of a sudden now she's like, "Okay, let's see how long this goes." Now we
Mm.
here. and she sees the magazine, she sees the children book, she sees the people that reach out to me, the people that call, the people that and comment, and she sees this, and she sees the people that want me, and she's like, okay, what do we got here? Because I did not stop at the men's conference.
Sure.
I did not stop when they said, thank you for coming out tonight. That was the time where I said, God said, now we got to do the work. Because you got to prove to her that you didn't just go over here because you wanted a weekend away. You got to do the work. And
Yeah.
that work comes with what you do here.
Let me just say this part too. And I want Chizzy to get in here because it's about, you got to remember, social media is supposed to follow the mission. Your mission is not to follow social media. But I do want to say something that when you talked about your wife, you got to prove to her, you got to prove to yourself, bro.
Yep.
I really want to free you and every other man who always felt they got to prove to a woman or prove to a child. When you come to a child, you're not the engineer, you're the shepherd. You're just a vessel that God is using for a period of time to have them in your life. So when I say it got to be about the mission, I made a 6-hour trip from Florida this morning. I get home, Chiz like, man, it's a Sunday. How you doing? You got to do a live tonight. My house, I said, we got to clean it up. I went to Walmart, got some new sheets for our bedroom, washed the sheets, finna put the sheets on because my wife is going to a dinner because I want to set the tone and the temperament with a clean bathroom and bedroom with some candles lit when she come back from dinner to set the atmosphere. You know what I mean? So for me, we gotta have more conversation with what it looks like. What it looks like on a Sunday, Coach Crump. Yes, I had worship, and me and my daughter listened to the word, and we talked about that. Yes, I had a grilling session with my son 40 minutes before I hopped on this call. He in there cleaning the kitchen now and scrubbing the pots and doing the clothes in his room, getting ready for this week. But I can't say, man, Chizzy, I spent the whole weekend getting sorted my dad. My dad just got his leg amputated, had to pay all these bills, build this ramp, pay for this insurance, pick up his truck, put that on my bank account, drive up here 6 hours, clean up, make sure I go wash real quick, get Walmart real quick, change the sheets so I can still have boo night when I get done after this YouTube live. That's what we got to tell men. Like, bro, that's what the work look like, bro. Just in case you want to know what it looks like, I still can't say, oh, I did all this for my dad.
Right.
I did all this for my mom. That still don't when I get here, bro. I still gotta prepare the bedroom for my wife tonight. So go ahead, Chizzy. I just want to show people what the work is.
I mean, again, what you're speaking to is demonstrating consistency. And I think because you could find any excuse every day to be like, nah, I'm done all of this. Like, we could probably figure it out for another day. I'm tired, all of that type stuff. But I think people undervalue consistency because they get so caught up in a result. So when you're going to the gym, if you got a picture, you're trying to be buff. Nah, the hardest part of all of this is consistency. And if you can master consistency, the results will get there. Because incrementally, what you're saying is, I am disciplined enough, no matter how I feel about it, no matter how the day turns out, no matter what the weather looks like, no matter what foolishness goes on in my life, I will be consistent. Period, point blank. And the result will yield whatever it yields because I'm showing up and I'm consistent. So when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to going to conferences, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to me on my journey to be a counselor, consistency is the call of the game. It's the call of the day, because the result can sometimes turn you off because you're not going to get the immediate result. You're not going to get the immediate repercussion. Sometimes you're not going to get the pat on the back. Your wife may come home and she may be tired. And she may not even want to give you the vibe that you think that you might be aiming for. But your consistency alone will also show her that no matter what, this is how I'm going to show up. And this is how I'm demonstrating to you that this is the part that I'm playing, the role I'm going to play, so that even when you don't want to get the result that I think I'm going to get, eventually it's going to arrive, it's going to get there. Because I'm doing it, whether you approve, whether you like it, or whether you want me to do it or not. I'm just showing up because that's what I'm called to do, and that's what I knew it's required to get to a particular result. You're not focused on the result; you're focused on the consistency of the action. And make no mistake about it, this happens in the negative as well. Let's be clear. Let's be clear
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
This
yep,
happens to be
yep,
negative as well. So we don't want to glaze it over and say, yeah, well,
yep,
you're inconsistent and your consistency is going to yield a positive result. 100% it can yield a negative result. And we've seen that more times than not in this space. But,
right,
our brothers need to understand that consistency, you just have to choose what you want to be consistent at. You know what I'm
yep.
saying?
Mm.
And
And,
put
and
and God will put the right people in your path to align with that consistency that you're looking for if your purpose is identified through him first. You feel what I'm saying? I think
yep,
that's the takeaway as well. Sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
man.
No, you're good. You know what I did this year, walking into it because of so much. I could tell you what I did in 2023. I could tell you it was on my hand. But this
Mm,
year, I don't got enough. I don't have enough because I know I did everything. And what I do is I ask myself when I get lazy, think of Mike Tyson.
yeah,
He he was so easy to knock people out within like 3 rounds. But then he met someone that he had to be, like you just said, consistent. He couldn't get to that 8th round. And that's when he was like, that's it. And that's when it went all downhill. And so I always tell myself when I'm sitting there like yesterday, I'm sitting there like, yo, man, I gotta go to this kid's party. Watch, we can't go. I'm sitting there. It's like, son, Mike Tyson. Let me get up. No, it's time to go. It's time to go. I need to go the 12 rounds. There's 12 months in a year. Son, you don't stop at 6 because you got sweet. You
yeah.
think you sweet because some people they like it. No, we got 6 more rounds, son.
Facts,
And I'm like,
facts.
got it. I got it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat, man. They are blowing up the chat, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to Conversation Kings podcast. Shout out to Red, man. We appreciate y'all, man, showing the love in the chat. But Lamar, I wanted to talk about too, man. You came early and
Yeah.
you being intentional. We talked about this too, intentionality. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Success is not an accident, success is intentional, right?
Intentional. Yeah,
You was adamant about coming early. You got to see behind the scenes. Like, and I could tell you had like an aha to be like, yo, Coach Crump's around here working. Like, tell me when you realize, like, when you really see, like, oh, it ain't about just what you do on the screen, but it's what you do behind the scenes that make all this work. How did that resonate with you when yes, you met us, but you didn't just meet us when I'm getting grand opening to a stage. You got there early enough to see the stage literally being set up. So talk about how that resonated with you.
When my thought of what the conference would be, I thought it was gonna be something where I gotta, where outside and stuff, and they opened the door. And when I'm walking in, I can hear God telling me, you need to serve. Don't you sit there and wait till it starts. Put my stuff down, shook hands, and come on. The way I was greeted, as if y'all knew me all my life. Hey, I'm
Mm.
Lemar. It wasn't like, yo, what's your name again? It was, I said one time, Lemar. Yo, Lemar, I need you. What do you want me to do? And seeing everybody work and just do. Hey, we're filling this piece. What else do you need? I
yeah.
need this done. What else? Give me the broom. Why, Coach? Why are you sweeping? Hold up. Give me the broom. What are you doing? Right. And because that was God telling me, don't you ever have him sweeping. Guys, what do you want me to do? I don't know. Make sure the VIP section is all right, cool. God's like, I need you to be in every area. We don't get tired today. Okay. And I watch everybody connect pieces to bring everything together. And I'm like, this what it's supposed to be like?
Mm.
Are you ready? And it was God exposing me to it to ask me, do you want this?
Mm.
Do you want this? Because if you don't want this, you could just sit as a guest, get the information, and we go about our way.
Right.
Mm.
But there's much more behind the scenes. And I watched it and I watched value men. What's next? What do you need me to do next? That's done. You want this to be here? How it looks? It's good. Good. And I'm watching. I'm being exposed to men. I've been to places with men. I pay my ticket. I ain't come here to do this.
Mm.
Come on. You know how much I paid for this thing? You know how much I had to do? That didn't mean nothing to me.
Mm.
God, what you want me to do? He told me this year, I need you to serve. And when I just met, I'm like, Oh, what's up, coach? So, Lemar? Yeah. All right, cool. You didn't say, I need you to do y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all didn't say, yo, I need you to do this. You stand around doing nothing. You didn't say nothing. What do you need me to do? All right. I don't got no volunteer shirt on. Nobody has a volunteer shirt on.
Yeah.
So to see that, the behind the scenes of the work that
Mm.
comes together. And then here's the crazy thing. No one saw it. If it wasn't there, they didn't see it. And then
Mm.
when it was showtime, it's a whole different person. You're like, hold up. My man was literally boom, 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 boom. I'm like, and what really locked me in before we start, let's pray. Hold up. Okay, that's how it works. Because I've
Yeah.
been to some Fred Perry's where you sit down and they just talk.
Mm.
I've been to some places where it's just this what it is. We in and out. And you connecting with men and then the breakup sessions and we're not here just to talk, get some information, write it down. Oh, no. We want to know what some problems going on in your life as a man. And you get around other men, you sit there with men, and they're like, yeah, man, I went through that too. And like, and God keep telling me, do you want this? Because
Mm.
if you want this, I'm gonna keep you in this room. I've been wanting you in this room last year, but
Mm-hmm.
you sat out.
Mm.
You knew there was things going on with the fellas, but you sat out. I can't push you in the game. I can
Mm.
ask if you want to get in. I always need a play on the floor. But if you don't want, stay on the bench. And this year, I'm not benching myself. So getting around and seeing the way everybody was moving, and y'all, not one time y'all said, yo, you're not doing that. Come here, because y'all were busy, and
Right.
I just kept getting in front of y'all. You need me to do something? My man, listen, you just doing that over there? Yeah, I'm done. You need to check? No, I don't need to check it. I don't have time. And doing this, and then when it was showtime, no, he didn't. My man was not wearing that a minute ago. Where did he? Where did he? Hold up, hold up. Where did he? I'm like, oh, I got it. This is what it's not just getting in front of those cameras and you see this side, the behind the scenes of all the work. And come on, we're talking hours before the show, the
Yeah.
conference. This wasn't no 15 minutes. This was hours before. And why did God wake me up so early in the morning and said, go now?
Mm.
Wasn't to be like, oh, let me go early so I could take some pictures. No, God was like, go because I need you there.
Mm.
And I need you just to, whatever they need you to do, just do it. Don't
Mm.
complain. Don't say nothing. Just do it. It may be something you never did before, but I'm with you. So you good.
Mm.
I got it, God.
I love
If you
it.
didn't know, Lamar's referred to the King Conference 2024, the annual King Con in Atlanta, Georgia. If you missed it, you're gonna get a little bit of clips. Lamar's episode is dropping on Monday at midday, so you'll get to hear him talk about his story, his experience at King Con. Man, it is a humbling, humbling opportunity to speak to this powerful brother, because not only is he there to support and serve, he is doing amazing things in our community with his books. Man, listen, Lemar, every time you talk, um, I'm taking this journey just like how you're taking this journey, just like how Crump's taking this journey. Even though, I see Crump to be my little big brother, you know what I'm saying? I often give him his flowers because, he's an amazing, amazing leader. He's an amazing person, and he's an amazing brother. And I don't want people to think that this stuff just haphazardly comes to be. You know, I've worked with him 20 years in various capacities. We talk openly about that, but I'm still humbled, and we talk about it all the time. No matter how big this thing gets, whether it's one person to a million people, we will always be brothers, and we always will provide a space to serve everything, every chance we get. You know what I mean? And I really,
Mhm.
really appreciate that about him, because, like I said, like, he could get anybody to co-host with him. He rubs shoulders with the who's who in this industry, And so for me, I will always be in a space of service for King Conference, for Boy Man King, for you, for anybody that comes on this platform, because I recognize that it is an opportunity and humble to be able to be in this space with brothers who have a similar mindset, man. So I just want to put that out there, man. Shout you out for that.
Yeah, man. And I just want to thank you, God, because this is part of the work. This is why we're doing it, right? So you pulling up to the conference, you seeing the behind the scenes value, you being intentional. Literally, what's exciting about you compared to every other guest we had, Lemar? You're the reason we did this.
Yep.
Like you're the reason we
Thanks.
put the platform together. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got hit across the face hard with COVID, and I was expressing this to Chizzy on the way to the men's retreat, this first one that he ever went to. I was telling him, I got this passion for this platform because I'm trying to work out how I can work with my business partners. I had a couple of things in it, and he was just being a good brother, listening to me. But I would listen to his heart, what God was doing in his life, how he was being intentional about how. Because we never arrive, we always evolve, right? So
Sure.
I don't let brothers tell me, I let brothers show me. So what Chizzy didn't realize that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the call. And when you answer it, that's what matters. It's not about, well, do I have enough money? Do I have enough following? Do I have enough experience? Do I have enough network? I don't know. Real people don't care about none of that. Are you continuously, consistently showing up the way you said you was going to show up, to
Yeah.
what you said you're going to value? So back to your point, Lemar, feelings are irrelevant. Honor your words, not your feelings, right? So it's not about do you feel like it? It's not about do you want to? As a man, at some point, you got to make conscious decisions in
Necessity.
spite of your feelings, in spite
Mhm.
of your circumstances, in spite of your fears. And that's what this Boy Band King platform was birthed out. It wasn't no, hey, here's a money play, here's a brand play. It was like, look, here's a purpose play. I am tired of content being put on social media that's literally leading men to the opposite direction of where they're trying to go. I'm tired of people blowing up on social media, becoming influencers who are influencing people to do stuff going to the left.
Dumbness.
That's,
Thanks.
that's creating more division, more dysfunction, and more just ill desires that's going to lead them to a destination ultimately they don't want. And I said, I can't sit back no more and just be one of those scrollers who be like, dang, they tripping, or they capping, or laughing, or sending a message DMs to my wife and being like, look at this fool, look at this person. I said, so you know
Right.
what? I'm gonna put some stuff out there, and I'm gonna put some stuff out there every single week. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna post every single day about how to help men get real results, connect with real men, having real conversations, going through real life, like in a real way. Like I want that to be online every day for somebody.
Every day.
Poof. That was the point. So for you to say, yeah, follow your Instagram, then I put on a notification. You're literally the reason we created this, man. So for me and Chizzy, it's so humbling because we literally
Thanks.
committed to if just one brother, literally, if one brother like we did our job and giving back. But man, I want you guys to know I'm at LA Fitness, downtown Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, man, my brother sent me a podcast to watch, and it was you. And I was like, man, I play basketball with that dude. He's like, for real, man. I watch him, I follow him. So like, I'm literally, I don't know how much, but I'm literally getting approached about people watching the podcast. So separate from our 1,000+ subscribers, people that's watching from all over the world,
Yes, man.
thousands of views on social media. I'm now having people just pull up random up on me, be like, yo, my brother sent me your podcast. You know, he said, man, they dropping some good information for men. You should look at it. And I was just like, God, I'm tying my shoelaces, Chizzy, like, but I'm in the back of my mind, like, yo, that's crazy. Like another guy, I don't know who he is, and I don't even know who his brother is, and his
Right.
brother follows the podcast and sends him the podcast. And it's like, for us, because it's just about the purpose. We want to
Mm-hmm.
say to everybody in the chat, the chat has been on fire, man. Conversation King podcast, bro. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the love, man. But 80% of our followers are men.
Mm-hmm.
80% of our followers are between the ages of 25 and 45. So, a lot of times you make these platforms and then a bunch of women be listening to it. What I love about our
Yeah.
platform is men, for the most part, all over the world, listen to the platform. So I just want to say thank you again, Lemar, personally, for making an investment. Then you pulled up to King Boy Man King Studios, man. Showed us
Yeah.
super excited about your episode coming out next week. But
Yeah.
we didn't get to share everything, right? So what are some
Right.
things as a man? Yes, you're up top. Now you live in Florida. You got your 3 boys. But kind of like let the people know like a little bit more about what you got going on and what you're trying to do.
I say after the conference when I came home and I looked at the notes and everything, the key points and stuff that it shifted my mind to really it unlocked a motivation inside of me that I didn't know I had. And when I say that, I'm talking as being more consistent, reaching out to schools because that's what I do. I'm an educated leader. I go into the schools and I work with the staff. I work with the teachers. I work with the principals, students. Right. The conference unlocked a fire of something that's it's I don't know if it's been there, but it made me stay in a mind frame of you got to get better. You're never going to be at your best, but you got to get better. And that's what made me go back and rewrite the book, rewrite the book and make sure that's done. Then God put, again, that was April, May come. God said, I need you to write a mental health book, workbook. God, I barely wanted to write the first one. You want me to do this one? Yeah. And we're going to finish it by the end of this month. And then you're going to put it out on your birthday. Oh, okay. And you're going to give it away for free. God, you doing too much. I don't know where you think this is coming from. And so it got me in a space where I'm like, I'm doing everything where God wants me to be as far as connecting with people. And that's all because of the conference of who are you as a man? And what are you displaying as a man? And it started with me. You got to display yourself as a man first. Because Crump, you said that. You said he would knock on the door. I'm good. There's a man that lives here. Now, I'm good. A man lives here. I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I'm telling you, I'm getting goosebumps as we just talked about right now, because that's what me. I was okay with people not, hey, we're selling this. We're good. We're good over here. And so it starts with me. If we had this conversation last year, I'd have been all over the place.
Right.
It starts with me. Then what do I look like in my marriage? Because they don't look at me, they look at her. And the way they look at her and the way she presents herself, that tells a lot about him.
Yeah.
Same thing with my kids. And then you out there and you put in the world that you this positive person. Behind scenes, what are you doing? You can put out all the great stuff, but what are you doing? And that's what I learned. It starts with you. And I'm telling you, the way y'all changed my mindset, it made me detail emails better. Not just say, hey, do you have an opportunity for me to come and speak? No, it detailed who are you displaying? And when I learned that, getting off the plane, coming home, unpacking, having a conversation, babe, I'm happy that you went. Okay, so I know I got the pass for next year. Okay, but you got work, son. And that's what gave me the consistency of saying, all right, what are you doing this week? What do we got planned next week? From said, what do your 30 days look like? I'm like, 30 days? Things could change in 30 days. I can start strong the first week and a half. I could be at the gym. Yeah. But because you need someone to break you down. Now, it don't always got to be with big situations. And Chris, I'm good. A man live here. And I'm saying to myself, well, do a man live here? Does a man live here? Is there a father here? Is there a speaker? Because you could put social media will tell you one thing, but he's like, this guy behind the scenes, he not like that. Don't let him lie to you. And so it shifted. Yeah, I could be positive, I could do all this stuff. But when they go ask my wife, how is Lemar? Like, not social media, I'm Lemar. Lemar Wilson, how is he? Oh, he's a great daddy. He does this, he does that. But with you, oh, we're good. You know, he gets on a men's call, he gets on a marriage call. I don't get on that stuff with him. He
Mm.
do. That's not my cup of tea. But you know something? We have conversations, better conversations now because he's doing the work. I got school, I got to do all this stuff. And I'm saying to myself, stop waiting for her. Stop
Mm.
waiting for your kids. You got to expose them to what it should look like. And so
Mm.
if I got to pay the X amount of dollars to get the coaching, because in this area, Chad, I'm sweet. I'm good. I am Lemar Wilson, but I didn't get the work last year. I didn't go pay for the work. And that's what you do. You get around people. If I gotta pay for these sessions, pay for the conference, where I'm at right now, I could I could pick another 30 minutes. It means nothing
Mm.
if I
Yeah.
didn't go get the work.
Yo, yeah. Just listening to you talk, as I said before, even though we create a platform and we're doing this platform, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking in my own mind and in my own life and how I'm showing up for my
Mm.
children, for my ex-wife, for the people in my life. How am I showing up? What do they say about me
Mm.
that the guy on social media doesn't say about me? You know what I mean? And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about that and I'm evaluating that. And my point is the importance of community, the importance of accountability, the importance of these conversations. And I'm probably blue in the face in saying this on Boy Man King, but if I, as the quote unquote provider or the purveyor or the co-host of a platform, is sitting back listening to you, a guest on our show, and I'm evaluating how I show up, what I'm doing every day, just listening to what you're saying, I know for a fact that we're all headed in the right direction. Because when you get to a space of knowing, I think it was Socrates or somebody says the most intellectual person knows that they know nothing. And once you understand that you know nothing, you will always be in a space of learning. You'll always be in a space of shedding who you was to to show up or to shift who you can be. This is what I'm learning just from this conversation alone. How am I showing up every day? What am I doing in my consistency? How am I being portrayed, not just on social media, but with the people around me that see me every day?
Mm.
Because, like you said, we could promote a certain image to other people because that's what sounds nice and looks nice. But really and truly, for you, is how your wife, and for me, how are my kids receiving me? What do they say about me? Do they see me as Boy Man King, or do they see me as just Daddy who's angry, who's volatile, who can't get along? You know what I mean? So these
Yeah.
are the evaluations that people that I'm making, which makes it 10 times more important why these conversations. And so let's make no mistake about it. This is not an easy journey to make. It's not a journey you just wake up one day and Lamar's got it all together, Crump's got it all together, Chiz has got it all together. Like if you're not consistently putting in your space to learn and to grow and to be broken on a daily basis so that you can grow, you're never going to arrive in the places that you want to be at because you're always going to assume that the man you are today is the sum total of who you are and who you can be. And
Mm.
that's the opposite of this journey. That's the opposite of growth. That's the opposite of a God-fearing spiritual man, because you're required to continue to build and grow the kingdom, and you're required to grow yourself for the benefit of other people, so that they can see your good works and glorify God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm amazed. I'm so humbled to be able to sit here and listen to you, man, because yeah, you're reigniting something in me that says, "Yo, bro, you gotta step it up. You can do more. You
Mm.
can do a lot more." You feel what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that, man. Thanks so much.
But it's confirmation of initiation, right? We're going back to
Facts.
part of being part of mature manhood, and the journey of it is being in a community of men who are mature, who are initiated, who are challenging you, right? Yes, we're going to give you a safe space, but that doesn't mean that you do whatever you want to do. It's
True.
a safe space for us to see your humanity and
Yeah.
recognize your limitations. Recognize the fact that you got to deal with that monster. Hey, bro, you got a plan for that porn. You got a plan for that pill. You got a plan for that bottle. You got a plan for that dro. But you also got to have a plan for your purpose. So it
Hmm.
starts at 30 days because men not ready to have a conversation about 30 days is to give you an aha. I need to be locked in. What am I doing the next 30 days? But you should be working on your 30 years.
Mm,
Facts.
I had a
mm,
mentor in Bermuda who was just talking about, Chris, like, what are you doing for the next 30 to 50 years? And I was like, bro, I didn't think that far. He said, well,
Mhm.
only the GOATs do. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
if you think LeBron just thought about playing with Bronny this year, you're fooling yourself.
Right.
Like he thought about it 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So he was like, I'm going to hyper chamber. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to eat that so that my body's at a different place from 38 than every other player who played in the NBA for 18 years at 38. Right? Like these things that we see as legacy, these things are not situations where they're like, I just thought, man, every time I get inspired, and people should study the Founder movie that is your boy Jeff Bezos for Amazon. Man, he was running a place since 98. When he did that first interview in 98, people like he in his little office in his garage or that little office selling books. He's like, man, it's gonna be bigger than books because of the internet. Now
Hmm.
everybody kind of like laughing at Jeff Bezos. In 98, it was a laugh. It ain't a laugh no more. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wait. It's laughing
But,
right
right.
to the
but
bank.
he saw it clear as day, even though he took that loan out from his own parents. Even though he was asking other, he still saw the 30-year play of being the type of company. You like the people that make these huge legacy plays in other communities. I've been blessed to interact with the Jewish community. And they're running plays, guys, from the day their child's born. They're running a play. We like, we like, I got a child. What I'm gonna do now? That our culture reaction a lot as men is like, oh, I got this. All right, bet. What I'm gonna do now? And so what happens is, as men, because we are constant in flight and fight response mode,
Yeah.
everybody else is defensive around us because we're so territorial, demonstrative. Me and Chizzy are very big. Lemar, we are all big guys. So people gonna always be like, even your wife
The
sometimes
defense.
be like, because I don't, I'm talking spicy to you to protect myself.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of men
Right.
don't realize that they in a marriage, your wife is actually talking spicy as a defense mechanism
Right. Yeah.
because
Right.
you're not moving like I'm running 30-year play. Don't worry. Because she goes, hey, you like, why you talking like that? So you getting back and forth because all you doing is caught up in the moment. You're not on, baby, calm down. I remember my wife told me one time 20 years ago, she was like, baby, sometimes when I get like that, I just need you to hug me just to reassure me everything's
It's
okay.
gonna be okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
her last real spaz on me was 20 years ago. Why was that her last one? Because women spaz, because you know what I mean? Like they intense is overwhelmed. I hugged her, squeezed her, I hugged her whole body. Like she couldn't get her arms out. Like I hugged her whole body and just took a deep breath. Like, baby, I got you. Kissed her on her forehead. Like, baby, I got you. Everything will be all right. Don't you worry. But every stressful situation, that was my energy, Chizzy. Like
Yeah.
energy wasn't like, what you mean? Why you popping up? It
Yeah.
was like, baby, everything's gonna be okay. I'm running a play. You know,
Yeah.
if I have to get a second job, I get a second job. If I have to cut some costs here, I cut some costs here because it's about the bigger play that I'm running. I'm not on, I gotta win this battle with you. I gotta convince you in this moment. I gotta make sure I'm right in this moment. I tell brothers, are you in the business as your family man, as a man of your household? Are you still inside your house trying to be right? Or are you trying to be righteous? Are you
Facts.
trying to be right? Or are you trying to be righteous? Because if you're trying to be
Exactly.
righteous, somebody in this situation got to take a L. You tell me, man to man, between your man, your woman, and your children, who do you want to take the L in the situation?
Me all
Yeah.
day until
Just
Sunday.
give me the L. I'm good on that.
Just
Just give
give
me
it
the
the L.
L.
I'm due for the L's. I got big shoulders, 250 pounds. I'm due for the
Yeah, just
L's.
give me the L. You know,
Yeah.
my sister told me that. She was like, yeah, just put it on the mark. Somebody got to take the L. And I was like, well, why I gotta take that out? I didn't do nothing wrong. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, all right. But that's what you get when you get around the right people.
sure.
No
You
disrespect to my people that I grew up with.
Mm,
Like, to be honest, no disrespect to them. But I need to be around people that's not afraid to hold me accountable to say, you was wrong, B. But she did. Well, there's no but. You was wrong. Your kid did. You was wrong. And so
mm,
when you get around, I no disrespect to my family, my friends, everybody that's watching, I need to be held accountable for the blind spots I don't see.
mm,
I have to be accountable. And some people won't do that because, that's not my place.
mm.
Because you my man. Crump, I knew you for years. You my man. I can't. I've seen it. I just felt like I shouldn't say nothing because I don't want to, that's your thing. But that you not telling me, I went down and I didn't have the mask on. My plane crashed and you could have saved me, but now it's too late. So to me, I walked away when I got back on that plane. I walked away of how do I make sure that I keep the mask on, that I'm okay to breathe, but now I got to go and save my wife, my kids, my sister, my brothers, and my community because they're
True.
watching me now. And so they watched this Lemar after April. It was like the All-Star game. The January to April, they got that Lemar. But now from April to now, they're like my community from the Astoria, Queens. They see this type of person. They're like, he's different. And so to me, I'm like, you need to follow this man. You need to follow this podcast. You need to do this. You need to immerse yourself in a different environment that's going to change not just you, but change your mindset. And that's what I do every morning. Crump said, why are you not praying? I said, I prayed today, but the other day I didn't because I, I had to run out. There ain't no excuse.
Mm.
There ain't no excuse. I said, why are you negotiating, Lamar? So he put me in a room to break me down because sometimes I don't listen. I'm a knucklehead.
Yeah, imagine if God
God
said,
got
"Yeah,
to put me there.
I ain't gonna let you breathe today. Nah, I ain't gonna let you walk today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. The things we take for granted. To your point, and even though it's an oversimplification to say, just be consistent in your prayer life, in your spiritual life. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. Look, I don't want people out here thinking that this is the narrow path. This is the narrow path. It's not a broad path. It's not for everybody. But
Mm.
make no mistake about it. Even if when you choose that narrow path and it's not a perfect path, we're not talking about perfection. We're talking about incremental progress over a period of time with intentional things you put in place in your life to get to a particular result as it relates to consistency. Like, it's not easy. Every day, all of us, I'm pretty sure, sit back and say, oh, man, I want to abandon this. I just want to lay on my bed, do nothing, have somebody cater to me. But at the end of the day, you realize that, as Crumple says, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. Hear me? It's your responsibility. And
That's
if you're tapped into the right resources, you can see a lot of growth, as you've seen, as I've seen, as Crump seen, as a lot of brothers have seen. But you have to consistently put the effort in to get the result you're looking for. Because, like I said, if you put the effort in other areas, you definitely will get the result you're not looking for.
Right.
definitely.
Right. Right.
You
There
gotta
you
Lamar,
just
go.
decide which result you want.
yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
Right.
as we close out, man, what do you want to leave with the people in preparation for, they seeing your episodes dropping next week?
hmm I want to leave them with the side of what we've talked about. The day after was a deeper side of that I don't really share that much on social media, and that side of me that was therapeutic because that stuff sat with me years. And to get around men that made me feel comfortable, made me feel it's safe to be. Don't get it twisted, L. You went through some stuff. Don't stop putting the shades on to hide the tears. And so what you get next week is the most vulnerable, humble, broken down 8-year-old child from Astoria, Queens, that went to the store the first time to pick up beer and cigarettes and not knowing that what I had in the bag. To
Sure.
the man that said, yeah, you got a GED, but you ain't got your associates, then you went and got your bachelor's, then you went and wrote a book. You inspire men to go get their GED in the world. You see this 8-year-old boy become a man and get around men that says, "L, don't front, don't get it twisted. You, it's okay, it's okay." And so that's the side that, to me, I'm okay with sharing.
Yeah.
Y'all made that, the conference made it okay for me to be a boy, and say, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And you stand as a man now to say, we turned out good, kid.
Facts.
If I could tell the 8-year-old Lemar, life turned out good. And we still got more to go.
Yeah.
I love it. Talk to the people.
I just want to encourage people, men especially, right? Like, get outside of yourself. You know, there's a saying, if you want to get a different result, you got to do something different to get a different result. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing, expecting a different result. If you want to change the trajectory of your life and your family's life, you have to do something different. And I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm not saying you have all the answers. I'm not saying Lemar has all the answers. But I'm saying you got to go with what works. You got to go with what works. And at the end of the day, you know, the world would have you believe that a man is not supposed to cry, is not supposed to show his emotions, he's not supposed to just have a wife, and he's not supposed to have his children, he's not supposed to bend over backwards to ensure that his family is okay. All the bravado that you see on social media is a fake sum total of what a man is, and that's false. And I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of powerful, effective, humble, loving, wealthy, spiritually wealthy, and financially wealthy brothers who are functioning in this space. And I just want to tell you, come over to the light. I'm just going to encourage everybody, come over to the light. Because the darkness gives you one result, but the light is there for everybody to take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my takeaway for anybody watching. Come over to the light, man. You got brothers who really love you, who want to see you win, who could give you the keys to the castle, could put you up on game so that you can have a better experience for your life. Because remember, the 80 or 90 years on this earth can be painful, but it can be joyful. But you also want to prepare for the afterlife, which is more important. And that's what we're endeavoring to do as well, man. So that's my takeaway.
I love it, man. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Lemar, man. Follow the Boy Man King podcast. Please like and subscribe us, Boy Man King Talk. Also, shout out to our team, King Noel, Deani
Yes,
with
sir.
the guy, Next Level Nick. We just appreciate everybody who helps to put this together behind the scenes. And look out for his episode. Lemar Wilson will be dropping next Monday, man. Fresh content, incredible story, credible man of God, leader,
Sure.
speaker, entrepreneur, husband, father, powerful man of God. Man, again, on behalf of everybody here, man, I want to thank you. And as we always say, the journey continues. God bless.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you. All right.
All right.
Come on.
That was a good episode. That was good, man. Hey,
I
Mar,
love it.
I like when you on, man, because you give this natural